Hey everybody, how are you guys doing today? My name is Nick, otherwise known here as Avialence, and welcome to my Friday video discussion for September 19th. Now, in today's video, we're going to be focusing on Destiny, so you guys aren't going to be seeing a lot of my face. Also, I forgot to charge my camera, so it's sitting in the back charging right now, and that's a little bit my fault, but I figured gameplay would be better anyway for this type of video, so that's what you guys are going to see today, just a mix of stuff, and it'll all make sense shortly. So I've been playing a lot of Destiny, guys, and I haven't released a Destiny video yet since the game came out about 2 weeks ago at this point in time, because I've been working on, figuring out the game, figuring out how it works, and trying to understand a bunch of different things. I've noticed that a lot of YouTubers have been posting random things that don't have conclusive information, or they're just reading item descriptions, and it's something that has really frustrated me when I look up a video of, oh, hey, would you mind going over the weapons and stuff that Zur has, and what these weapons are and everything, and instead of giving me their backstory or proving that they did any research, a lot of YouTubers are actually just reading item descriptions and not providing a lot of context there. So good on you guys, YouTube, and you should definitely get that fixed. So now that my mini rant's over, I do want to talk about exotic weapons today. Now, for those of you who haven't been playing Destiny enough, or don't play Destiny, and maybe even you haven't gotten to level 20 yet, there is a weapon class called exotic. Now, the way the gear goes in Destiny, it's categorized by colors. So you have white, green, blue, purple, which are legendary, and then exotic, which are the top tiers of gear, and you can actually only have one weapon and one piece of armor equipped at a time because they're so powerful. Now, these exotic weapons are typically gotten through a bounty. Now, these bounties are dailies, and after you do enough of them, maybe you'll get lucky enough to pick up an exotic bounty. Now, when you do so, it'll start a quest line, and various ones are available to players, after completing a certain amount of bounties. And you get to choose one of 3 that are randomly generated so far as I know. Now, mine cropped up last night, Thursday night on the 18th, and I was actually able to spend most of my afternoon, night, and morning grinding out my Thorn hand cannon. So I do have an exotic, the Thorn hand cannon, which was shown at the E3 demo. Now, this thing's a beast. I love it. It works well, although it was the best choice for me. I had the choice of picking the Thorn hand cannon, the Invective shotgun, or the Bad Juju pulse rifle. And the Thorn hand cannon seemed like it would be the best fit for me, especially since my group is starting to do raids in Destiny, which, really exciting. We'll talk about those in another video. Now, in order to get the Thorn hand cannon, I had to go through a pretty detailed quest line that took me almost 16 hours to complete over the last, day or so. So I've spent a lot of time doing this. Now, the first phase is obviously obtaining Thorn itself. You go to the summoning pits, which is a level I think it's 14 strike. You can do the regular one, or you can do the heroic one, which starts at 18 and then goes into 22, 20, 22, and 24. But I went ahead and did the regular one, completed it, got the Thorn hand cannon. That's phase 1 of the quest. Now, from there, I go to phase 2, where I have to kill 500 Hive members, which is a faction in Destiny, if you guys do not know, with any weapon, right, in order to power up Thorn and restore it. Now, after that, Thorn craves void energy, so I had to go do a bunch of PvP, and this was by far the worst part. You have to obtain 500 void points to charge the cannon. Now, in order to do so, you have to get PvP kills with void weapons, which are only your heavy weapon and your special weapon, and by getting a kill, you get 3 points. By dying, you lose 1 or 2 points. I couldn't quite nail it, but you have to get 500 points. That took me a majority of the time. That was a pain. And then after that, you had to go back and do a special level 26 strike of the original Summoning Pit strike. At the very end with Pyrogroth, kill adds until a special ad spawned, and then kill that ad and call it a day. And then you would go back to the speaker and get your reward. It was definitely a crazy quest. It took me a very long time to do, but it was worth it because in the end I got my exotic. Thorn is a great gun. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and you guys are seeing gameplay of it now. My stream got a kick out of going through everything, and I'm really excited to test it in the raids this weekend, right? Now, that being said, I also found something that was a little more disturbing, and that's the fact that exotics are actually on the randomized loot table in PvE and PvP. So after completing a strike or a PvP activity, game mode, you can do Rumble, you can do Team Deathmatch, anything of that nature, right? You actually have a chance at getting a randomly generated exotic weapon from the loot table. So that exotic weapon that I just spent hours farming and, had to wait a week and a half to get the quest to do, someone can actually randomly get it generated for them in the Crucible by being on the bottom of the ladder. So they can be the worst player on their team, their first Crucible match of the day, and if they're lucky enough, they can get an exotic weapon that would take them days to farm, or tons of different activities to farm. Now, my Thorn hand cannon was 4 phases. The shotgun, I believe, is 6 phases. The Bad Juju, I think, is 7 phases. And there are very, very difficult challenges to all of these exotic weapons. So the people that grind these out and actually go and do these epic quests in order to obtain their amazing pieces of loot can actually be one-upped by a very lucky person in the Crucible. And that's something that I think is very frustrating, you know. It's like going into World of Warcraft, and one of the most famous World of Warcraft weapons, right, is Thunder Fury, Blade of the Windseeker. I always wanted one. I could never farm it, but you guys remember how crazy that questline was, and if you don't, trust me, you don't want to do it. It is not an easy blade to obtain to this day, right? Now, that being said, imagine if you could play a PvP match in World of Warcraft, get a randomly generated piece of loot, and it's Thunder Fury. So that guy that spent, 50, 60 hours working on something, weeks doing it, is now able to get it randomly, even though he's the worst person in a PvP battleground. This is something that I think is a big issue with Destiny, right? Especially when it comes to exotics. Exotics are not meant to be easy to get. You have to spend strange coins, which are a pain to get on Xur, and he only spawns twice a week on Fridays and Saturdays, and he may not even have the loot you want, right? You can also do Motes of Light to get an Engram. That can possibly give you an exotic. The legendary Engrams that you kill mobs for and farm also have a possible chance of getting you an exotic piece of gear. But again, that's randomly generated and it may not be perfect for your class. Or you have to do enough bounties, get lucky enough to get one of these random quest lines, and then go out and complete the quest line, which can take anywhere from 10 hours to days to complete. So I think it's a little bit frustrating. I definitely think these randomized loot tables and the fact that anyone has a chance of getting an exotic on a random loot table is a little frustrating, especially after seeing some of it too. I was kind of blown away by a lot of that. There's a great YouTube video here that kind of illustrates that point. I'll link that in the description below this video. And there's also 2 amazing Twitter accounts too. The Purple or Legendary Engram account, and then you also have the Cryptarch account, both on Twitter. I'll link them in the description below this video, that have been giving me laughs all week because the loot system in this game is so random. It's extremely frustrating, and it's starting to tick a lot of people off. Although there's ways to exploit it, and people are trying to figure it out. So if you guys have been playing Destiny, or you've been watching Destiny on Twitch, or even watching my Destiny on Twitch, how do you guys feel about this? Do you feel that exotics should be on the random loot table? That the top-end gear should be available through random loot tables in PvP, for example? I personally, like I said, not a big fan of it, but I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. So please let me know in the comments below this video, or you can tweet your answers to me at Avialence, and I'll be sure to look at those as well. That being said, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more gaming commentary. I'm going to be doing a lot of Destiny next week. I've got all the footage I need and the experience I need to start putting out those commentary videos. I'd love to have you guys in the viewer base checking them out. My name is Nick, otherwise known here as Avialence. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I'll start talking to you next week.